Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Today, I've got a very positive video for you guys, checking out 3 new fragrances, some first impressions for you. I've got Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum, Lacoste Match Point, and Fusion DC by Issey Miyake. I got an email the other day telling me that I should smile more and laugh more and let you guys know how happy I am. So today, we're doing lots of positivity, even if I don't actually think these are any good. So let's jump into this. I'm just doing this to screw around, but hang in there. We're gonna check these out, and I'll let you know how I feel about them, even if I do it with a smile. First off, let's check this one out. Spicebomb Eau de Parfum, or excuse me, Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. Of course, the Eau de Toilette was not really well received. So Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Toilette kind of was like Victor and Rolf trying to get into that Invictus money, that Invictus honeypot, and that didn't go over so well. My bottle has leaked a little bit, but that's okay. I like it when bottles leak. It didn't leak all that bad though, just a little bit. You can see it kind of on top of the atomizer here. I'll show you guys. So you can make it out right there. It's leaked a little bit. Anyway, I've kind of have been meandering getting this out, but yeah, Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Toilette. People didn't care for it too much, had a bit of an Invictus vibe to it, and it didn't really fit into the Spicebomb line all that well in my opinion, because it lacked a lot of spice. Now, I'm a putz, and I got this as the 50 milliliter size, so this is gonna be like the baby grenade amongst all my other full size 90 milliliter bottles. Well, really, this is full size too, but whatever. Let's check out the presentation. Okay, let's check this out. You got here the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration on the front, Victor and Rolf logo at the top. On the back, you've got your ingredients. On the bottom, you have your batch code, which is 22T40DP. It's a pretty long batch code, longer than usual. And here we have the presentation, your typical grenade styling for the Spicebomb line. Again, name of the fragrance, concentration right there on the front. You have the little pull tab, and on the bottom, your batch code. Now, one thing about this fragrance is, I know it's gotten better reviews on Fragrantica than the Eau de Toilette did. I have not watched any video reviews or anything on this yet because I don't want to be swayed by what somebody else says. So, here we go. And all 3 of these I ordered from France. So you can pick this up in the US right now at full retail, but I ordered it from France, and I'll leave a link in the description to the website I used. Better than the Eau de Toilette, I'll tell you that much. So one thing about this fragrance is it has a ton of notes, a ton. And I really love that. I love fragrances that have tons of notes. Yeah, positivity. Look at all those notes on Fragrantica. That's a lot. And it's kind of going against the grain. Nowadays, the hip thing to do, the cool thing to do, is to have as few notes as possible. That's what a lot of fragrances are doing right now. They're giving you 2 or 3 for the opening, 2 or 3 for the mid, 2 or 3 for the base, kind of just hitting you with the highlights, but that is not what Spicebomb Eau de Parfum is doing. Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. I keep saying that. Now, this is still very much an attention-grabbing, compliment-pulling sort of fragrance. That's what this is. Going for maximum versatility, and doesn't really come across all that spicy. So kind of continuing in that trend of using the Spicebomb name, the Spicebomb image, without actually being a spice bomb. Now, that is not to say that there are no spices in this fragrance, because there are. There are actually a decent amount, but it's not the same type of spice bomb that the original or the first couple of flankers were. That's okay. Everything has to evolve and change. And I like evolution and change. Seriously though, it is sweet. It does come across more of a nighttime sort of fragrance, date night kind of fragrance, one that ladies are really going to appreciate, or men as well. And like I said, it's got a decent amount of versatility to it here. More well put together than the Eau de Toilette is, and it's not as bubblegummy sweet in your face. So there's a bit of fruity sweetness in the opening, and then sweet spices as it starts to dry down, little bits of interesting notes that you don't see all that often, like pistachio and nutty notes as it stays on my skin here. It's a step in the right direction. It's probably what the Eau de Toilette of Night Vision should have been. But do I like it as much as Spicebomb Extreme? I'm gonna say no. Actually, that's a really easy no. But still, let's keep moving and then we'll check it out again. Lacoste Match Point. All of these are 50 milliliters. I saved myself a couple bucks by getting the smaller size. Quickly check out this presentation. You've got here the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration on the front, the little Lacoste logo on the top, your ingredients on the back, your batch code on the bottom, like usual. Batch code here, 0150. And here we have the presentation. It does look a little bit better than your typical Lacoste presentation. It's heavier, the glass looks better, just overall a higher quality presentation than you may be accustomed to from Lacoste. So you have the name of the house, name of the fragrance right there on the front, the logo on the top, and the badge code is actually on the back of the sticker on the front. So here it is, you can see it through the back of the glass, 0150. Cap clicks into place. Let's go ahead and give it a spray. So it is refreshing, it is fresh, but maybe not quite as much as I was actually expecting. I was expecting your more typical Lacoste, super sporty sort of open. And while it is still fresh, this one has a little more going on than I was initially expecting. It has an herbaceousness to it. So instead of being very fruit forward with this shower gel kind of scent, you get more of herbaceous basil and clary sage with a bit of geranium as well. Now there is grapefruit in the opening, so there is a citrus there, but I wouldn't even say the grapefruit is the main thing that I smell on the top, which is out of the ordinary, because usually you get that citrus right away. That citrus just jumps off the skin, you pick it up, really sparkling and clean typically. And while it's here, for me, the basil actually comes out more than the grapefruit. And I gotta say, I like that. Really though, it is almost like a slightly more grown up or mature Lacoste fragrance. That's how it comes across. It definitely has that Lacoste DNA. So it is still, at the end of the day, a spring, summertime, daytime kind of fragrance. But it's not as immediately youthful as most of their fragrances are. I'm also starting to pick up a fuzzy cashmerean note, and cashmerean gets used pretty heavily nowadays. Of course, cashmere wood, cashmerean, just cashmere, however you want to call it, however you want to say it. It gives that fuzzy, warm sort of vibe to a fragrance in the base, and you pick that up here pretty early on. Like most Lacoste fragrances, slash pretty much all Lacoste fragrances, you should not buy this at full retail. Just a little pro tip for you. Typically, designer fragrances, eau de toilettes are gonna retail, you know, $60, $70, $80, sometimes more if it's a higher end brand, but right in that range at retail for a bottle of this size. You don't wanna spend that much on this fragrance, or really Lacoste in general. And again, that's nothing against Lacoste, which is a brand I truly respect and appreciate, but they're just way more affordable at discounters. So I'd say if you're interested in this one, just wait a little bit, save some money. And this has not been on my skin all that long, still does have that herbaceousness to it, and you know, it's starting to sweeten up just a little bit, just a little hint of sweetness starting to come in, at least more so than when I first sprayed it on. But I do like it in its Lacoste sort of way. It doesn't have as much of a sharp vibe to it and astringency to it. Sometimes some Lacoste fragrances, and if you're really familiar with the brand, you know what I'm talking about, when you spray them on, they have this kind of sharpness to it. That fragrance doesn't, so that's good. Fusion DC, let's check it out. I kept waiting for this one to pop up in a store in the US, whether a retail store or discounter or whatever, and it still hadn't, so I was like, well, I'll just order it from Europe. Let's quickly check the presentation. Like always, we got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size and concentration right there on the front. Nothing on top, nothing on the sides, ingredients on the back with a little information on the fragrance right up here. And then on the bottom, your badge code, which is 0128DM, Dungeon Master. And then the bottle. Now this is in the Major DC / Low Super Major DC bottle style, other than a different cap, which looks pretty cool. I like it. Got the name of the fragrance, name of the house right there on the front. On the bottom, you've got your batch code and your concentration. Let's give it a spray. And if this is anything like the Major fragrances, the Major DC fragrances, then once they hit discounters, they're gonna be really cheap. Or this is going to be really cheap. Interesting. Yeah, you get that coconut and fig right away. Yeah, so that's different than most men's designer fragrances. I can't think of one off the top of my head that smells like this or even all that close. I guess keeping in line a little bit with those Major DC fragrances that this shares a bottle style with, it does have this sort of fuzzy, you know, masculine, modern edge to it. The ambroxan is what I'm talking about. And I love ambroxan. It's gonna do that with every note. I love that. Even fragrances I hate. This fragrance sucks, but I love it, but it sucks. No, I'm just playing. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, there's a tiny touch of lemon in here, but I get more coconut and fig. It overwhelms the lemon for me. Yeah, just overpowered. And it's kind of like a fizzy coconut and fig. Decently sweet, the ambroxan, like I said, right there, right away. I imagine some people are gonna zonk it. They're gonna hate on it because of the ambroxan, that modern sort of edge that this one has to it. But off the top, I gotta give them points for being different, at least for me. Summery sort of fragrance, daytime kind of fragrance, even though the bottle looks, for me, more of a nighttime scent. I think you would probably agree with this black, almost obsidian looking top, and then this sort of shade of a deeper blue with orange, more of a nighttime looking bottle. And it could warm up immensely as it dries down, so that could be where, oh, ant on the box, but that could be where the whole look comes from. I've been shooting this video for quite a while, so let me run back through these really quickly and wrap it up. All right, first up, this one right here, Spicebomb Night Vision Eau de Parfum. This makes absolutely no sense. Don't hold this against me. This reminds me of the 80s. And I don't mean 80s fragrances. I mean getting into like a 1984 Camaro when I was a child. That makes no sense. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like, yeah, that's what it reminds me of. That's gonna be no help to any of you out there at all. I'll try to do a review on this one in the near future so I can give it a proper breakdown, but really it's got a little bit of that nuttiness from the pistachio and nutty notes and some resins as well, but it's not too heavy. It's not too rich. Like I said, it's got a nice wearability to it, a nice versatility to it. Like I said though, come back to this in a future review. Let's check out Match Point. This one's still hitting me with the herbaceousness. Yeah, this is more like a fresh herbal fragrance, bit green. It's fresh and it's clean, but not at all in a soapy way for me. Again, more herbal. Geranium, clary sage, basil, cashmere. Those are the notes I'm picking up the most of. It's not terrible, it's not mind-blowing either. It's Lacoste. You kind of know what you're getting. That being said, it is more grown up than a lot of their offerings, most of their offerings actually. So that could appeal to a lot of you out there. And last up, Fusion DC, Dragon Ball Fusion. Still get a good amount of coconut and fig, a little bit of cardamom coming in, ambroxan, sandalwood. Those are the notes I pick up the most of right now. It has gotten a little bit darker, slightly darker from the opening. I imagine that will continue, but I can't say for sure. So that one I'll come back and review in the future as well. Maybe I'll just do them all. Overall, pretty good day. Can't say that I'm disappointed. Like I said, guys, I'll review these in the future as I can get around to wearing them more so that I can kind of see how they actually evolve. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. I couldn't do this without you. Stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.